You're listening to a Prairie Punk House Companion right here on the Prairie Punk Press Network. The views expressed by any host or any guest on the Prairie Punk House Companion are the personal views or opinions of the people who express them and do not reflect the views or opinions of anyone else on the show or any company, employer, or any other organization that the individual expressing them has or will affiliate with in the past, present, or future. Hi, everybody. You're listening to a Prairie Punk House Companion. We are now on episode 35. I am Neckbone.
Hi, I'm Jerbear, and the future is now.
How so?
We're recording this a week early
Oh, right.
because I'm going on vacation, so I won't be here for our normal recording schedule. So it's the future.
Where are you going on vacation? You can say it because people can't follow you because you'll already be back by the time they hear this.
True.
Yeah.
I'm going to Dollywood in Tennessee, to go to the Branson of the farther east south,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for
Tennessee
my
and is
daughter's.
Tennessee believing.
Yeah, yeah. It's my daughter's graduation trip. Um, so we're gonna go hang out in the Smoky Mountains. We're gonna go to Dollywood.
Nice.
We're going to go to the Dolly Parton Stampede, which is dinner and a rodeo,
Mm-hmm.
uh, at the same time. So, nothing says tasty dinner like manure floating through the air.
Oh, yeah.
We've been multiple times, so it's not my first rodeo dinner.
I get it.
See what I did there?
I do.
Yeah, and we're going to Gatlinburg, and driving. And
Mm-hmm.
I am still sick from last week when I started to have an itchy throat when we were recording. So
Oh, yeah.
it is a week and 2 days later, and
Still
I'm
sick?
not better.
No.
No, I started to get better, and then I started to get worse again. So that's
Well,
fun.
I'm sure driving for multiple days will probably help you feel better.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
We also had band practice again, and
Nice.
we have picked out a name through process of elimination of all the names that we had picked, and then scouring the internet and Bandcamp to see that 99% of those were already taken.
Yeah.
And we landed on one, but I don't want to say it because somebody will take it while I'm on vacation.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I
wait,
thought maybe you didn't want to
they'll
jinx
be
it.
back. Well,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I searched and can't find it. There's some similar,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty stoked. I got a new speaker cabinet. It is a 10 by 8
Mm-hmm.
cabinet, an Ampeg, and I have a new head for amplification, and I sound beefier than ever, and I'm so fucking excited about how heavy we sound. So I'm
That's
pretty
awesome.
stoked.
Are you guys still looking for a singer? Are you looking for a singer?
No, we're not. I'm
You don't?
just doing it.
You're just doing it?
I just have to do it.
Yeah. I keep telling you, I'll come be your singer,
Yeah.
but we have to do it, over like, Skype or Teams or
Hmm.
Zoom,
Yeah.
because of the distance.
Word.
Yeah. But that works. We can
Yeah.
do
You
that.
can come to practice
Mm-hmm.
via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
It might be a little delay. No big deal.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I wish I had more exciting news. I don't though. I did see I went to the movies and I saw a movie this week
Ooh,
though.
I did
On
too. What movie did you
on
see?
on Monday. I had Monday off
Me
because it
too.
was it was Memorial Day and
Mhm.
I went to go see Sinners.
Really?
Yeah. Hmm.
I went to see Lilo, Lilo and Stitch.
That's that's adorable. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Sinners is not a kids movie. If
yeah,
anyone's wondering, do not take your
yeah.
children to that.
How
Even if
was it?
you have adult children, still don't take them to that because there's some
Because it would be
very,
awkward.
very well. If you're with your children, the sex scenes would be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
sitting next to people you're related to, I feel like that could be uncomfortable. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Great movie though.
Who's in it? I don't remember.
Michael B. Jordan plays
Okay.
twins, which I'm always a little about.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, I had my doubts. Um, my wife saw it, and then she kept trying to get me to go see it. We see movies separately because we have a child, and we don't want to pay for
Child.
a
Hmm.
babysitter to go see movies.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so she had seen it already like a few weeks ago, and she kept bugging me to go see it. And whenever somebody tries to get me to go see a movie, it just makes me think like, oh, they're blowing it way out of proportion. It can't
Hmm. Hmm.
possibly be that good. But
Hmm.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't love all of Ryan Coogler's movies. Like I like
Hmm.
Fruitvale Station, thought that was a really good
Yeah.
movie. And
What
then it's
else has he
kind
done?
like the Black Panther movies, which are
Oh, yeah,
fine,
yeah.
but they're like Marvel movies, you know. So I mean, they're for Marvel movies, they're good, I guess.
Well,
Like,
I would just, speaking of Michael B. Jordan,
uh,
and Black Panther,
yeah,
Killmonger was right.
yeah, yeah, definitely
Mm,
was right.
yeah.
Yeah, um, but yeah, oh, Ryan Coogler also did the Creed movies, which I never really gave a shit about Rocky, so I don't give a shit
No.
about Creed either. Sorry,
He
I don't
sure
care about
does love
boxing
Michael B.
movies.
Jordan, huh?
What's that?
He sure does love Michael B. Jordan, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Michael B. Jordan is in all of his movies,
Yeah.
including Fruitvale
I
Station, which is the
He's a
first thing
great
I ever
actor.
saw him in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's great
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah,
and hot.
yeah. And he there's two of him in Sinners, so because
Man,
he plays twins. So
nice.
there you go. But they wear different hats, so you can tell them apart.
Oh, okay.
Clever. Yeah.
That is how
But
you tell twins apart.
I'm not kidding. Like, yeah, for Ryan Coogler movies, I always felt like there was kind of diminishing returns, and I was like, eh. So I was like, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good, but no, I mean, let me tell you, go see Sinners. It's his
Yeah.
best movie. It's the best movie he's ever made, and
Sweet.
I loved Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
But this is Sinners is by far the best movie he's ever made, and it's yeah, just absolutely phenomenal, including the score and soundtrack
Hmm.
is just unbelievable. I mean, it's like partially like a musical, basically, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
in a really good way.
That's cool.
Um, yeah. Uh, the music is kind of woven through the story in a really like clever way. Also, it's a really horny movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good movie to take a date to. Don't take somebody you're related to go see it. That'd be weird. Take a date or just see it
Did
by
you go by
yourself.
yourself?
Yeah.
Did you feel like a weirdo?
No, there's actually no, there weren't that many people by themselves, but uh but also there were people there with family, so I felt less weird than them probably.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little odd. But yeah, go see Sinners. I think it's coming out on streaming in like a week or two. I don't remember on which platform.
Brad.
But yeah, definitely watch it. Watch it multiple times. I'll be watching it again whenever it comes to streaming. Yeah, the this one actually does hold up to all the hype. I was very surprised because I
Hmm.
wasn't expecting much, and it was the best movie I've seen in a long, 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 long time. So
Nice.
yeah.
Totally awesome.
Yeah. It's got vampires too, if you don't know what it is. Yeah,
Vampires?
it does. So, and I'll just leave it at
I
this.
do love me a vampire.
There is vampires are handled slightly differently. I don't want to say they're like the Borg, but sorry, there's spoilers here. They do have a collective mind. So that reminded me of the Borg, which reminded me of Star Trek, which made me like it even more. So there you go.
I feel like The Strain
Uh-huh.
by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
It's a book and a show.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a collective mind,
Do they have a
collective
collective mind in that?
consciousness
Oh,
also.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I stopped watching that show. It started out really good and then it just kind of
Mm.
fizzled out. And I was like, oh, it's just gotten kind of cheesy.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to read the book.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let me know if the
I
book's any good.
also have the novelization of Pan's Labyrinth
Yeah.
that I'm gonna read. I got for like $1.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what are we talking about this week?
Well, we were trying to have our friend on,
hmm He couldn't make
uh,
it. He's traveling for work
Leahy.
right now, so
Ah,
he was not able. He will be on a future episode, maybe even the
yes.
next episode.
Hey,
So yeah.
he is our friend Leahy. You've
hmm
heard stories of him, and he is our redneck leftist
hmm
punk rock friend.
Yep.
Not a conservative punk rocker,
Yeah.
redneck.
Yeah. Very
Very,
different.
very, very
hmm
leftist, but also enjoys the simpler things in life like cars going fast, shooting
hmm
at ducks,
Yep.
and cooking a good meal. And the Beach Boys.
And the Beach Boys. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited to have him on to talk about a lot of the weirdos that he hung out with when we were in high school. Who did? I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was nice to have people who could buy us booze readily available and provide us with places to go and hang out and drink the booze and party.
Hmm,
But
hmm, hmm.
look, reflecting back on it, when I was a 15, 16-year old, and he was two, we're the same age, and going to somebody's trailer who's 25 or older is odd. It's odd.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Um, Especially when they're like, "Hey, you can bring some girls from your school over too,"
Ugh.
and you're like, "Huh, nah,
Yikes.
I'm probably not gonna do that." So,
So whenever I was in that situation, I
hmm
always just thought those dudes were losers.
yeah,
Hanging out with
right,
high school kids. Like I didn't think
right,
they were cool. I thought they were skeezy cheese dicks.
yeah, and it's weird looking back on it now, and I'm like, they were like, 25 to 30 years old, and I don't know why they didn't like women there. 25 to 30-year-old women, like when I was 16, I liked 25 to 30-year-old women.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have, but yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with women who are 25 to 30 years old, which now looking back, I'm like, that's actually really young. It felt
Right.
old at
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
I just realized that my beverage cup might look like Starbucks with a green straw. Is
hmm
not. It's from Quick Shop.
Oh,
So I'm not buying Zionist coffee.
true.
I
That,
promise.
though, Quick Shop is owned by Kroger. What do they? There's got to be something wrong with Kroger.
I mean, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
There's not.
But
It
there is a
sounds like,
boycott on
yeah.
Starbucks.
It sounds like a cop out, but it is true. You can't, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, which is, we were talking about Leahy, and that's one of the reasons why he does things like hunting and fishing.
Yeah,
And it's
for
because he
sure.
doesn't want to have to be as much of a consumer,
Right.
and support
Yeah.
factory farms and stuff like that. Like that's part of his leftist ideology.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah. So left-wing rednecks, they're a thing.
Heck yeah.
Get hip to it.
Ew. All right. So we're
Um,
not hanging out with Leahy.
mhm.
What are we doing?
Um,
And I guess also a question here, since the last couple episodes have just kind of been talking politics, should
mhm.
we just go ahead and make this horizontal?
Yeah, we can roll it into both.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Just
yeah,
like a
we're talking.
crossover.
Yeah, it's a crossover. Not a backdoor pilot. That was last time. This is a
Mhm.
crossover. The crossover everybody's been waiting for.
Right. All
Um,
all Johnny of you.
mhm. And possibly Mr. Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the sound of all Johnny of you.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So we're talking about toxic masculinity.
Oh,
Yeah. Within the
that
punk
sounds
scene
fun.
and in general, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, uh, you know, we were talking about reflecting back on things that may now that we're older, seem weird that I didn't
Hmm.
think too much about. I don't think either of us thought too much about when we were younger, but there was a lot of toxic masculinity in the punk scene in Wichita and Kansas City and Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I would like to think that I wasn't a uh super guilty of that, but I know that just living in American society,
Hmm.
everyone is a little bit guilty of it every now and again. Even women are
Yeah.
affected by toxic masculinity and can be, you know,
Hmm.
shitty to other women. I mean, it's just slut shaming is part of toxic
Right.
masculinity, you know?
Yeah. And I'm definitely guilty of it. I was not. Yeah. I mean, I grew up like I always tell people, like I grew up, as a white cisgender man in a rectangle state.
Hmm.
So I was absolutely a product of my time and place of existing, not trying to make an excuse, but, you know, we also didn't have a lot of ways to do research on things back then.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
until you actually met cool people who had different experiences, which is around that time where I was meeting new people that kind of
Uh-huh.
changed my outlook on things, you really didn't have anything other than what you'd kind of been told. Like there was no
Yeah.
researching unless you're willing to go to a library and get books about it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say in middle school,
Hmm.
I was really shitty to girls
Hmm.
because that's how my role models at the time were.
Yeah.
My dad was an asshole. My brother-in-law, who when I was in the seventh grade, uh, started smoking weed with me and giving me alcohol and cigarettes and all sorts of stuff that a 12-year-old hanging out with a 22-year-old probably shouldn't be doing, but I was doing. And it seemed fun at the time, but just like you're talking about with Leahy, man. Uh, I mean, I was 12, so it's an even bigger age gap and even weirder situation, being that he was my brother-in-law and stuff. But those examples of masculinity were very toxic and very shitty. And in middle school, when you're trying to figure out who you are and stuff, and the way girls are treated in middle school. I remember there's a woman I'm friends with now. Um, I'm like, she's super fucking cool and so rad and always has been. But I was really shitty to her in middle school because she developed faster than some of the other girls did. And in the early 90s, that obviously meant that she was a slut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
not at all fair to her. She can't control any of
Right.
that. And so, yeah, I was shitty to her, and it really sucks. I look back on that and I feel really bad. But I mean, I addressed it with her because, we messaged one another on Facebook once, reconnected, and she was like, "You used to be such an asshole," and I was like, "I know, I'm so sorry. Like, I
Hmm.
was really self-conscious about myself, and you were." Um, you were very pretty and you were growing up faster than other people. So, that made you stand out and other people were calling you a slut. So I joined in too because I was self-conscious. And, it's
Yeah.
horrible. And middle school's probably the worst time to be a kid.
Yeah. No shit.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking terrible. So,
Yeah.
there's shit like that. And in high school, I was just really horny and couldn't get any. Yeah, I had no game.
Yeah.
And that made me shitty too. But by the time I was like a senior about, um, I had gotten into punk rock. I had started listening to punk rock and learning about politics and learning about, the importance of treating people kindly and not being a fucking asshole. And oh, there you go.
Let's do that. Let's have top
Yeah.
light on as much as I hate it.
Um, so kind of by the time I was finishing high school, I had realized that being shitty uh, didn't do any good, and it just made people upset
Yeah.
and didn't benefit me at all. It just made me miserable as well because it doesn't feel good to treat people bad, you know? And
Right.
that's what a lot of misogyny is, at least like overt misogyny is you're just treating people like shit. And
Yeah.
it sucks. So I stopped. And wouldn't you know, being nice to people works wonders.
Yeah. It's yeah, I was definitely guilty a lot of that crap, especially in high school, middle school too, but really in high school. And I'm not going to mention any names, but yeah, there were definitely like girls who I really liked, and for some reason thought that because I liked them and I'm pretty cool, that they owed me
Oh yeah, yeah.
some kind of chance
Hmm.
to date them. And that was pretty weird and backwards way to look at things. But that's, I mean, that's what a lot of, and I notice it so much more now. That's what a lot of our media, movies, TV shows, things like that, especially romantic comedies where they're just like, no, where, you see people doing stuff like love bombing and doing these grand romantic gestures, and it's shown as a good thing. And, the guy always gets the girl if he just does the right thing.
Yeah,
Um,
if he's just a nice guy.
a nice enough guy. Yeah.
And
Um,
nice guys typically have ulterior motives and aren't actually nice.
oh, for
They're
sure. Yeah.
doing it to swindle their way into
Hmm.
somebody's heart.
Right.
Because you don't need to tell people you're a nice guy. You don't
Right.
have to constantly talk about, I'm a nice guy and she only likes assholes. Like, well,
Well, yeah.
maybe that's not true because you're being an asshole,
Right.
whether you
Yeah.
realize it or not by, being the nice guy.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I've definitely been guilty of that in the past. Like I said, I'm not going to
Same.
mention any names. I'm sure some of the, well, now women who I've done that to may even listen to this podcast. So
Mhm.
yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
sorry if I was a dick.
Yep. I definitely was
Yeah.
to
Well,
many, girls at the time, women today.
right.
Yeah.
And the thing, like everybody makes mistakes.
Hmm.
Everybody fucks up.
Yeah.
Everybody can be an asshole. The important thing and what, I try to do is if I fuck up, I
Hmm.
try to do better. And I tried not to repeat that behavior. And,
Yeah.
there were a lot of times where, I used to be a huge slut.
Hmm.
And a
Same.
lot of that had to do with alcohol. And afterwards, I always felt like shit. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't like to do that. But when I
Hmm.
was drinking, I made bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I it sucks.
A lot of that toxicity, stems from um, this kind of weird idea of what it is, what you need to do to, be a proper man, which kind of
Mhm.
leads to the next person I want to talk about. A clip you sent me of some pretty
Oh,
toxic shit. What's that dude's name?
let me check real quick.
Okay.
He's a real peach here.
Hmm.
Abba Alabanza.
Uh-huh.
I urge everyone to go to Abba Alabanza's Facebook page and watch some of the just wretched shit he has put on the internet with what seems to me sincerity. He is a huge misogynist. He is a huge racist. And the irony of that is that he is a reggae musician, white reggae musician,
Yep.
singing in a fake Jamaican patois.
Now, I'm looking at one of his album covers because he has albums.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
looking at one of his album covers, and he is using the colors of the Ethiopian flag
Oh,
while his album is called White Horse.
yeah, yeah.
I find that odd.
Um, I think that he might not be very smart.
Yep, that much is clear.
Um, I ran across his song, What was it called? Misogyny. Wait, what was it?
Was that the one where he said masculinity is being killed?
Oh yeah, masculinity is under attack.
Masculinity
That's
is under
right.
attack. Yeah.
Masculinity is under attack.
I'm absolutely going to play a clip of
Believe me
that. Yeah.
now,
hmm
masculinity is under attack. All in a Jamaican patois.
hmm
Um,
He is not Jamaican, by the way.
no, he's
If
a
there's any
fucking
confusion.
cracker ass cracker with
Yeah.
cracker ass white boy dreads
hmm
and just just fucking awful.
Masculinity is under attack, this is fact. Masculinity is under attack, under attack. Facts that masculinity is being attacked. Masculinity is under attack, time to act and not sit back and slack. Get sidetracked by the crap, the feminist trap, subtract life. It's a fact, the mathematics don't like the feedback, black, white, Indian, Asian, abstract equation on the track, the masculine behavior.
Just terrible.
He describes himself as Christian reggae.
Mhm. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
hmm
And that's, I mean, what is the distinction between Rastafari and Christianity?
Are you asking?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you?
yeah. I'm
Oh,
asking.
okay. I wasn't sure
I
if
was
you
just
were trying
wondering if
to.
that's like a redundancy saying that you're, you know,
Well, Rastafarianism is its own religion that's separate
right.
from Christianity. Um,
Mm,
it's
sure. The same way Mormonism is,
no, they're a little
I
further
think.
removed because they
Okay.
they they came out of. I mean, they recognize the now deceased king of Ethiopia who died in the 20th century as their Christ-like figure
Hmm.
instead
All
of
right.
Christ. So
I thought it was both.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think that they care about Jesus. I don't know. I could be wrong. Anybody who's Rastafarian, reach out to me. Let me know.
Johnny?
Johnny.
Johnny, fill our Rastafari gap.
Oh, yeah, definitely look at this guy's Facebook page.
It is fucking wild.
It is.
And I don't know if he's being outlandish like for clickbait,
Yeah.
but
Oh, he
um
straight up has the old Ethiopian kingdom flag that actually is the flag of the guy that is like the Christ-like figure from
mhm,
Rastafarianism,
mhm,
which is very much a very African flag.
yeah.
I don't think
He's
there's,
fucking racist as shit. He
yeah,
believes in a white ethno state.
it's just, oh, reggae rejects feminism. Okay,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Um, the entire musical genre, the entire genre, he speaks for it. He speaks
Yeah.
for the entire reggae genre.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad that a white boy from probably Connecticut is speaking for all reggae musicians ever.
he only has 794 followers though, so that's
Oh, maybe we shouldn't boost him with our massive following.
our massive following. We have fewer than that. So
All five of our Patreon patrons do not go to his Facebook page.
you can go to, just don't
Just
don't
joking.
don't like it.
True. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. You can give him a few laugh reacts.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
I don't know. That's still um
Engagement.
engagement. Yeah, don't give him engagement after all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
shit is wild. And well, I mean, talking about
hmm
dipshit content creators, a lot of the trad wives who were making videos and talking about how great it was, have come to resent their trad wife life.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
Gee,
pretty
I wonder
interesting.
why.
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's pretty weird.
Hmm. When you're married to somebody who just sees you as a baby factory, who's just there to serve them, with no end to that. Um,
Right.
that shit probably gets old after a while. I'm sure that
Yeah.
shit gets real old
I
after
mean, getting up at 6 in the
a while.
morning to start a made from scratch breakfast and taking
Yeah,
care of three kids and
7 days a week.
right,
You don't
seven
get
days a week.
weekends. Yeah,
No,
it's 7 days a week, man. Yeah. I don't get I never understood what the appeal of that was. I don't
nah.
understand
Well, look,
what
man,
the
I mean,
yeah.
I can definitely see the value of a simpler life.
Sure. The whole cottagecore
And
thing and the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
like off-grid
And
fantasy. I get it. Yeah.
if one person in a partnership can make enough money
Hmm.
to afford the other partner to stay at home
Yeah.
and take care of the household duties, that's fucking great. I would love to be a house husband, or I would
Me
love
too.
to give my wife the opportunity to be a housewife.
Uh, we're
Both of
called
us.
we're called gentlemen of leisure. Thank you.
Um, either of us would love that situation. Our house would be a lot cleaner.
Hmm.
There would be less stress.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to worry about taking off work to do things for the kids. Like it would be a lot easier. Unfortunately, under the boot of capitalism, you can't really do that anymore.
No.
I mean, you
Just
can
imagine.
barely you can barely make do with on two salaries. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Well,
capitalism is so far out of hand that even a two-income household struggles.
we live in a four-income household because I have a full-time job and a part-time job, and my wife also has a full-time job and a part-time job.
Yeah.
Um, and we make good money, um, and we still struggle to keep our heads above water and
Yeah.
pull ourselves out of debt and pay our mortgage. And we're lucky we have a fucking mortgage and we're not
Right.
renting.
Yeah,
So
for sure. What is it? Most Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. I mean,
no, yeah,
luckily we are slightly above that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, you
yeah.
know,
We are, yeah,
but it's close. I mean,
right.
it's $1,000 emergency
Hmm.
would be really fucking hard. We just had our air conditioner go out.
Oh
So
shit. Hmm.
we have a leak, I think, a coolant leak.
Hmm.
They were able to refill it and it's working for now, but they're gonna have to come out and look for the leak. And I'm really, really worried about what they find because this is the second or third time I've gone out into my backyard and seen my lines outside to the air conditioning unit frozen.
Yeah. Uh,
So not cool.
we lost all power to our garage, because there was a line. So those of you who don't know, in the city of Chicago, unlike, a lot of places like where I grew up in Kansas, the garage is separate from the house. The house is on the street and the garage is in the alley, and the yard is in between the garage and the house. So the garage is a completely detached structure. So
Mm.
you have an electric line that runs from your house underground to your garage so that you can have power and open your garage door, turn lights on, do crap like that, have a plug in if you have a plug in. And ours had not been done up to code because, I mean, our house is 120 years old. And so a lot of DIY projects were done by people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing when they started doing stuff like that. And it had not been properly done. The line broke and we had to get it completely rewired from the house and done up to code. And it cost us 2 grand.
Fuck.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that shit's
that was
hard.
fun.
That
That's,
can
yeah,
that can ruin somebody's life.
right. Yeah. And, and
Um,
I think I've said before, like, my kid's daycare is $2,000 a month. That's $2,000
yeah,
every month that we pay for daycare. Every month.
yeah.
We pay
It's
$24,000 a year for daycare. I went to college for cheaper than that.
yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Um, I noticed that whenever we talk about anything, it
Hmm.
seems to always come back to capitalism.
Yeah. Capitalism sucks.
It's the root of
Hmm.
most of our problems, probably
Yeah.
including toxic masculinity.
Absolutely, it is for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's the backbone of empire, and
Mhm.
empire is,
Well,
the
and so much marketing goes towards either the ideal masculine image or the
Mm,
ideal feminine image, which
right.
are both facets of toxic masculinity.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It affects women as much as men, at least.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Certainly
Yeah,
they're the victims of male aggression,
right.
but they're also like victims of the marketing and of like
Yeah.
pressures to look a certain way, act a certain way, dress a
Hmm.
certain way. I mean, just think of the pink tax,
Yeah.
women pay more for hair care products, they pay more for uh, razors, they
Yeah.
pay more for
Tampons.
deodorant, makeup,
Yeah. Tampons,
perfume.
which is something we don't even need.
Right,
And
yeah.
women have to pay, and there's an extra tax on that shit. Like,
Mhm.
it's fucking wild.
Well,
But,
I just mean the price markup
oh, yeah.
of
Yeah.
items for women. Like women's
Mhm.
razors are more expensive than men's
Even though it's
razors.
the exact same thing. And you know what?
Yeah.
When I'm in the shower and I'm trimming up, like around my beard,
Hmm.
if I forgot my razor, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm already in the shower. And I like to do that in the shower. I got a little mirror in there. I like to
Hmm.
do it because the hot water makes it nice and easy to trim up around my beard. And fuck, I forgot my razor. Well, my wife's razor is right there.
Hmm.
It does the exact same thing.
It
So
does the exact same thing, only it makes you a little bit more feminine every
I
time you
guess
use it.
it is pink,
Yeah, there you go.
and mine is steel colored.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
I thought you were gonna say black,
No, it's
or
metal.
like it's made of an oak
Yeah,
whiskey barrel.
aged
Uh,
whiskey oak. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Very, very manly.
Super manly. But then I'm
Yeah.
using this pink razor, and it's just not cutting my hair right, even though it's made
Right. Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When your hair grows back that you used a pink razor to shave with, that
Hmm.
hair is gonna come back more feminine.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Feminine hair, which is very different than masculine hair.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
All the people are gonna be able to tell.
yeah, most definitely.
Mhm.
Um, the thing I always like to bring up with a lot of men is because it's tough. It's tough for some audiences, and this message is just for the guys in the room. Ladies, if you want to go, go grab a drink or something. You can step out for a couple of minutes. You don't need to hear us. You already know this, but um, feminism helps men too.
Hmm.
Guys, fellas,
Yeah.
it helps us. It helps. First of all, you don't have to put on a front constantly all the time, which gets fucking exhausting.
True that.
To always have to be this macho masculine guy. I'm a pretty masculine guy. I was born a man. I feel like I'm a man. I'm very
Mm.
comfortable in my own skin as a man. Um, yeah, I like I work out with weights. I have a beard, but I don't want to have to put on a front all the time. It gets fucking exhausting. Sometimes, I want to watch a sad movie, or
Mhm.
I want to be able to cry about my dead dog without somebody judging me about
Mhm.
it. Um, yeah, and um, it also helps with things like in fortunately this is not something either of us have to worry about, but like in divorces and things like that, there's a lot of states that just automatically give the kids to women,
Mhm.
and if we had you know uh, more acceptance of feminism in our culture, that would not necessarily be the case because
Mhm.
it's misogyny that makes judges assume that mommy is obviously the better parent
Right.
that the kids
Yeah,
need to go with, which
for
should
sure.
not be the basis for that type of
Yeah.
judgment. Um, so yeah, guys,
Yeah.
feminism helps us. It helps us every day. So
Well, yeah, and why wouldn't you want to have empathy and understanding for your partner if
right,
your partner happens to be a woman or
hmm
female presenting?
right,
Like, why, what is the harm in being able to um, empathize with that,
Yeah.
understand that.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
And you should be able to have empathy for anyone, for women, other men, non-binary people. Like
Hmm.
that's a part of our humanity that connects
Yeah.
us all, is that empathy that we feel for each other. And yeah,
It doesn't
it's
make you soft.
right. It's neither, in my opinion, neither a masculine nor a feminine trait. It's a human trait. Um, so we should all have that. And I feel like it gets beaten out of men. It just gets
Hmm.
beaten out of men. Um, a lot.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like what we were talking about earlier with, the trad wives and the men who want, the type of guys who listen to a lot of Jordan Peterson, probably Joe
Fuck.
Rogan. Um, yeah, I mean,
Let's come back to Jordan Peterson here in a minute.
okay. Who say that they want that, I want a wife who's going to stay at home, who's going to raise the kids, who's going to give me a bunch of kids, who's going to, make food from scratch, who's going to, they just want a servant. And I'm just thinking like, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
You know,
sounds terrible.
yeah, and I use the term for my wife, a wife and partner interchangeably, because
Hmm.
she is my partner, where we come in as peers, like we're equals, we make decisions together. That's what
Hmm.
I want, is somebody who is an equal to me, who we can kind of rule as a council and not
Hmm.
a two-person council. Sure. I don't know if that counts as a council, but
Hmm.
you get what I'm saying.
So on a side note, tangent
Mhm.
here, there's a YouTube channel that's been doing some. I don't really know how interesting or valuable they are, but they're definitely entertaining.
Mhm.
Jubilee.
Oh, yes. I
So
saw
I watched
Sam
the
Cedar
Sam
on that.
Cedar one. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Okay.
So there, one came out earlier this week with Jordan Peterson, and it
Oof.
was originally billed as a Christian faces 20 atheists.
Hmm.
And it's a bunch of Gen Z college students
Yeah.
and or alpha, I don't know, whatever people younger than millennials are who are in college right now. Just fucking roasted him, dude. They had no patience for his bullshit. He would not give a straight answer to any of their questions.
Hmm.
It was fucking hilarious. And again,
Hmm.
I don't think it's a value added conversation, because nobody, like, each side is just going to take their sound bites and use it to own the other side at a later date. But these kids totally wrecked Jordan Peterson. I know I'm kind of doing what I said that people would do, but I would encourage everybody to watch it just for the entertainment value. And I think that the intellectual dark web is coming to a end with a whimper.
Yeah. I mean,
Sam Harris is crying about not getting to go on Joe Rogan anymore, and Richard Dawkins is a fucking footnote,
oh yeah. Yeah, he
and
has been for a while.
the Weinstein brothers are fucking ignored. Brett and whatever. Doesn't he have a brother, or is it just him? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Brett Weinstein.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody fucking pays attention to him anymore. And yeah, Jordan Peterson's just a fucking joke. And that shit was beautiful. And he is, Jordan Peterson ties into this because he, when he reached like the peak of his popularity, he was reaching out to young men and trying to help them make it in the world, saying
Yeah.
simple shit like make your bed, shit like that that you should just know. But
Right.
people struggle, so I'm not trying to judge people that found some comfort and answers from that fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But he clearly has lost the majority of his sway with people, and I think he failed the young men he was trying to reach
Oh, definitely.
in a
Yeah.
huge way. So,
Hmm.
also a victim of toxic masculinity.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the name of this guy. And I wish she had put it. I ran across a YouTuber I didn't even had never heard of her before. I wish she'd just put this dude's name in here. But there's a video. It's this beardy American guy
Hmm.
talking about how. Maybe I'll just put a clip of it in here.
All right.
Talking about how there is some justifiable SA.
No, there's not.
No, I agree. There is not. He is certainly trying to argue that there is. Um, yeah. So I'll put a clip in it. Maybe I'll just put it in the description if I can figure this guy's name out.
When you say like certain people, it's like, okay, dude, yeah, I guess you could make the case that like grape is bad for certain people.
No,
For certain people.
no, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here,
Andrew.
like there's women, you agree,
No.
who have orgasmed during SA.
That has nothing to do with
Bro.
whether it's SA.
Bro.
That has nothing to do with whether it's
Bro.
SA. Are you kidding me?
Bro, I didn't say whether or not it's SA. I said during SA.
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, bro, if that's the case, right, then was it bad for them?
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely,
Why?
because there are overriding harms than just orgasm. I'm
Got
not
it.
saying that's not the case. What?
Perfect. So then here's the case then. The case is like when you say for some people, right? The reason you keep saying that is because even though it's the vast overwhelming majority of people, you want to like create this little minutia outlier, right? Is it logically possible that there's ever been a woman who's been SA'd who'd enjoyed it?
I am not going to.
Can you answer my question? Is
No.
it logically possible?
I'm not ascribing anything to that.
Do you think
Andrew.
there's ever been a single woman who's been SA'd and has enjoyed it?
I'm not going to answer the question.
But yeah, his argument is that because it is possible for a woman to orgasm while SA'd,
No,
that means that
absolutely
yeah.
not.
And
That is a
I-
biological function that has nothing to
Right.
do with
it's also possible for a man to get an
emotions.
erection while SA'd,
Yeah.
but he doesn't make that argument. I've
no,
noticed.
of course not.
Yeah,
No, that's just some fucking
yeah.
that's just rape apologetics.
It is, and part of me thinks that he is just saying it to get a reaction.
Could be.
Because I don't believe there's no fucking way anybody believes that shit. Not
I'd
really.
be surprised.
It's
I mean,
Well,
I'm pretty sure other people have made that argument before as well.
well, you've heard about the chuds who are mad that look, I haven't finished Andor yet, so there's not going to be any spoilers. I still have two more episodes to
either.
go.
Okay, I've only watched like half an episode. I did finally finish Skeleton Crew though.
Oh, but there's an a near essay scene in season 2 of Andor with a Imperial officer attempting to essay Bix, the character Bix. And the Chuds are really, really, really mad, and their argument is Darth Vader would never have allowed that to happen.
Darth Vader murdered a room full of children.
He also was just cool with destroying Alderaan, an entire planet,
A whole planet, yeah.
with children and all kinds of different people and pets and life forms, and that it presumably had at least hundreds of millions of people on it, if not billions of people.
Babies.
Babies, yeah. He was cool with that, but he would never allow SA in his empire.
They do know that George Lucas created Darth Vader as the villain, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of Revenge of the Sith, that was his fall from grace.
Yeah.
And he was not to be seen as redeemable at that point.
Right.
Hence the child murder.
Yeah.
I have seen interviews with George Lucas where he is just astounded that people come away with sympathy for Vader.
Yeah.
I have sympathy for Anakin before he murdered the children,
Right.
because the Jedi were the unappointed cops of the galaxy.
No, the gallery. Yeah. They run a small art gallery.
And, the Jedi weren't the good guys,
No,
but they also weren't the ones that murdered innocent children
it's true.
at a school, at a
Yeah.
preschool.
Hmm.
Like those kids were like 5 or under,
Yep.
younger than Sandy Hook victims.
Yeah. Hmm. So, but SA would never happen under
No,
Vader's empire. He wouldn't stand for it.
that is some wild shit to say.
Yeah. Right. And as if even if Vader himself was very much against SA, it's not like he's monitoring every single thing that's happening in the galaxy all at once. He's not keeping an eye on his officers. He doesn't give a
Yeah,
shit.
he's not the Abrahamic God who
Right.
is
Right.
omniscient,
They understand
omnipotent.
that Star Wars takes place on multiple planets across a galaxy.
Well, to be fair, you wouldn't know that based on travel times in Star Wars.
That's true. That's fair.
I mean, you can cross the galaxy in either 2 minutes or 2 hours. Just
Yeah,
depends on what the plot requires.
that's true. Or multiple days, whatever.
Yeah. Who knows?
Hmm.
Just what does the plot require? That's how long it takes.
That's right. Star Trek does the same thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they accidentally travel to a different galaxy, and then sometimes even just going halfway across our galaxy takes 70 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, Voyager.
Voyager. DS9 was the best Star Trek.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Hands down. Yeah. Um, everything I know about being a father, I learned from Benjamin Sisko. Gonna throw that out there. So, best father in all of Star
Best
Trek.
captain.
Maybe even the only good father in all of Star Trek. There's some pretty shitty fathers in Star Trek. So, mhm.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah. Love Michael Dorn. Worf, terrible father. Awful
Terrible
father.
father.
Terrible father.
Just wretched.
Yeah. He just pawned Alexander off on his parents in Russia. Just like, yeah, you take care of them now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deal with this.
Which is funny because I think Klingons were originally stand-ins for Russians.
They were. Hmm. That's one of the reasons why they made, because Worf was raised by human parents in Russia. Yeah.
Tracks.
But does not speak Russian. He
No.
speaks English.
Klingon.
Well, Klingon and English.
Well, yeah.
Klinglish.
English. Did English become the international language of Earth, the planetary language?
It seems like, although there are universal translators, so maybe everybody is just walking around speaking their own thing and just,
Babelfish.
yeah. Hmm.
Everybody gets a Babelfish.
Yep.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
brilliant, love it.
Yeah. It's a convenient plot device when you
Yeah.
need one.
So let's get into more like punk rock specifics.
Yeah.
You've got Glenn Danzig, who is a machismo piece of shit.
Yep.
Somebody who is very masculine appearing, but who isn't a shithead would be maybe somebody like Henry Rollins. I think Hank is pretty chill.
Yeah. Hmm.
Doesn't seem like a shitbag.
Someone who is kind of a shitbag is, from what I understand anyway. I don't know any of these people personally, but Ben Weasel from
Oh
Screeching
yeah,
Weasel.
I mean,
Yeah.
punching women.
Yep. That's
Not
not something a
And-
cool person would do.
I've seen. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but since we talked about him before, I've heard people say it was mental illness.
Oh, I mean,
I know a lot of
Yeah.
people with mental illnesses. I myself have a couple mental illnesses, and I've never punched a woman.
nope, neither have I. Yeah. I guess I don't have
That
a mental
excuse doesn't hold up.
illness. I'm neurodivergent, not the same thing, but
Yeah,
yeah.
true. Is mental illness even the proper terminology anymore? It's
I
hard
don't
to keep
know.
up.
I have no idea. I know a lot of people will be shocked to learn this. I actually do not have any type of medical or psychological degree of any kind. So
Wait, you're a PhD of the healing touch
oh, that's right. I do a healing
and
touch. That's right.
parapsychology.
And cryptozoology. We covered that last time. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot.
So I think you're selling yourself a little short there. Dr. Bonet,
Okay, you're right.
thrice,
Okay,
thrice over.
I am an expert, and yeah, I say, um, yeah, mental illness is a thing. I don't know. That's my expert opinion.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't know. I think there was kind of a lot of shitty machismo bullshit,
Hmm.
especially in like the 80s punk rock scene.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like
I mean, we were talking
uh,
about how in the LA scene specifically, in a lot of the movies we watch for our other podcast, Punk Movie Review, that you should go listen to right after this.
mhm, mhm,
Um, that the LA scene in like suburbia, the Penelope Spheris suburbia, the good suburbia.
mhm, mhm.
There is a lot of machismo, a lot of racism and
Mhm.
sexism in that scene specifically. It seems to be not exclusively the LA scene, but boy, it sure does seem to be rampant in the LA scene.
Yeah. So I don't know where the turnaround came.
Hmm.
I know that Crass certainly seemed like they opposed that and were pro-feminist.
Hmm.
Part of the reason they put out Penis Envy was to piss off some of the more machismo bullshit bands.
Hmm.
Gilman Street explicitly said anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobia. ABC No Rio and C Squat in New York City were very inclusive and anti-racist, again, anti-sexist, anti-homophobe. Minneapolis scene, I think, was the same,
Hmm.
and certainly the vein of punk rock that I discovered and that I got into was very concerned with equality and fair treatment of all people.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really fortunate. I'm really lucky and happy that's the scene that I discovered.
Right.
Because I think it would be really easy to fall into the trap of being a shitbag. I mean, we're bombarded with it every fucking
Yeah.
day in the
And even
media and
with
stuff.
the inclusive scene that we had, we did still fall into it sometimes,
Yeah,
even
for sure.
with like all those positive influences around us, we still did have all the negative ones. I mean, that was in no small part, at least for me, due to the fact that, I mean, we were surrounded by rednecks
Yeah.
constantly. And that shit, as much as you fight against it, it is still part of, you still have it, even if you don't hang out with those people, you still have it in your family, you still have it in your
Hmm.
school, you still have it. Like you can't not be around it. That's not an option.
Right.
And it
But
does,
I
yeah.
think some of the shit we got from those people also turned
Mm,
us away from it because, getting
mm,
called the F slur
yeah.
multiple times every fucking day.
Hmm.
I don't want to be like that fucking asshole. So,
Right.
maybe I will embrace my more feminine side and even act more effeminate just to make a distinction between myself and those assholes anyway,
Yeah.
because fuck those meatheads.
Right. For
And,
sure.
and I don't really know um how the hardcore scene treated women. I'm talking like East Coast, New York City hardcore,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City straight edge hard, like that kind of
Yeah.
shit, like the
DC
straight edge hardcore,
hardcore.
DC
Yeah.
hardcore, that shit.
Hmm.
I don't know how they treated women really, but I kind of stayed away from that music scene because to me they seemed like the jocks of the punk rock scene.
Yeah, for sure.
It was punk rock jock jams to me. They were the fucking meatheads that were, you know, all about being tough, all about
Hmm.
being fucking ripped, and
Yeah.
you know, it just turned me away. Same with street punk,
Yeah.
and the oi scene. Even anti-racist skinheads had a lot of machismo in
Oh,
their
yeah.
scene, and I found it really intimidating, and I didn't particularly feel safe.
Hmm.
around them just because, like, not that they would intentionally beat the shit out of me, but they are just more unpredictable.
There's a lot of loose cannons in
Yeah.
those scenes. Even if you
Yeah.
agree with them on politics and everything else, like
Hmm.
there's people, especially, the ones who weren't straight edge anyway, the one that, like when they'd get drinking and they'd
Hmm.
kind of be like, like, oh, they're kind of a loose cannon. I'm just gonna like, you
Yeah.
don't want to say something slightly, even if they just interpret it the wrong way.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh,
Then
now
you
they're trying to
pissed
start
off and
shit. And
punch me in
like,
the face.
right.
Like,
I said something pretty innocuous and they heard it or misinterpreted it, and now it's becoming an issue, and I just need to
eh,
leave the party now.
well, I mean, like the story about Kale shooting his fucking truck up because
Hmm.
a lesbian he was in love with laid next to me on the couch while I was asleep.
Yeah,
Like that's weird fucking behavior, man.
yeah,
I don't fucking get it.
yeah, because had convinced himself he was in love with her, but obviously,
And that I was doing something.
right, which
I had no interest.
right,
She had
I
no
mean,
interest.
no interest in either of you,
Right.
and even if she did, it's none of his business.
Right. They
Like,
weren't dating. Who
like,
fucking cares?
right,
You
like
don't
what we were
own
talking
her.
about earlier, like she doesn't owe you anything
Right.
at all. She
Yeah.
owes you nothing.
Well, and neither do I,
Right. Yeah.
you know. Like at the end of the day,
Hmm.
I mean, I care about my friend's feelings,
Sure.
but let's just say for a lark that we were into each other
Right.
and something untoward did happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you weren't dating her.
Right.
She wasn't interested in you.
Hmm.
Fuck off, man.
Right.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
Yeah. And even if you feel some kind of way about it and you get mad about it, and you're like, maybe I should just leave the party then, uh, you don't have to go shoot your truck. That's kind of,
Yeah.
fuck is that shit?
It's fucking weird. It's
Yeah.
weird behavior.
Yeah.
Don't be such a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Like you're free to feel how you need to feel, and you're free to
Yeah.
depart the party, to leave,
Uh-huh.
to leave the scene, like, and be like, okay, I just need to get out of here
Yeah.
because I can't deal with this. Like, okay, you are free to do that, but that's as far as it goes. So I guess yeah, well, this will be another short episode. Because we were expecting to have a guest, we did not, but that's okay because next time we are going to have Leahy on. He's going to talk about his weird friends from Wichita from the '90s. It's going to be awesome. Jerbear, is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Not yet. I'll have maybe band stuff to plug here in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've got a name.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But yeah,
That you can't tell us yet.
I don't want to.
Okay. Yeah, everybody go to www.prairiepunkpress.com. You can find all of our links there. You can find all of our past episodes via those links on our RSS feed or our YouTube channel. You can look at our pretty faces on YouTube, or if you just want to listen to
Hey.
our sultry voices, then you can do that on our RSS feed. That's great.
Especially right now while I'm sick.
Right. You've got grandma voice still. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank our patrons. You guys fucking rule.
Mhm.
Love you guys. Thanks.
Mr. Power,
Wait,
Chris,
Johnny, Alec, Adam. Huzzah.
Mhm.
You rule.
all awesome.
Yeah.
If you could go door to door and try to recruit more patrons, that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
You can be Prairie Punk Press witnesses,
Yeah.
and you can spread the good news, the good word.
The good word of Prairie Punks. Yeah. Don't forget to call in to our live shows.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Call us at the number that
At the number. Call the number.
Yep. Just call the number. We'll get to it
The
eventually.
number. And
Um,
talk to
yeah.
us live. Tell us your punk rock stories.
Mhm.
You call the number.
Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. We'll put them on air.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun.
It's only $9.99 per minute. or something.
Something. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. We'll have a guest next time. And yeah, everybody have a great couple of weeks, I guess. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
From the future.